bro, like you've got a system that works. It's like it's worked for you. This business, like it's putting money in, you've done the ads, and you've been getting results. And so it's like, why have you stopped doing that? You know, it's like, why, if it ain't broke, why are you trying to like fix it? You know, that kind of quote. It's not even that. It's just like it worked before. It wasn't broke. It was working, but
Yeah.
you're like, you're just not running with it. And so you basically,
Yeah.
so why you're not doing that? It's fear of failing. You're certain of that.
Yeah. Yeah. The fear of failing, because if I go back, like I said, to the time and the place when I took my foot off the gas pedal, was when one thing stopped working, and instead of me going into it and figuring out, learning more about it, like the Google ads, because the Google ads stopped working, the quotes wasn't coming in. I'd normally get like 4 or 5 quotes a day, and they stopped coming in, and I thought, okay, what's going on? Like someone stole my. I remember thinking of someone directing my traffic somewhere else, but I didn't look into it fully. I got distracted, and then I just went back on the back burner and thought, okay, let's just cut Google ads because I don't want to keep spending money. Um, oh yeah, the van. I started the van project. That was my distraction.
So you procrastinated
And I've started funneling,
your energy into that. So your
procrastinated
focus
doing
was
that. Yeah,
okay.
energy and money.
So there was a moment where you were getting results. So you're putting money into Google and you're getting a return. You're getting a return on investment. But then there was a day
Yeah,
where you looked at your computer and you're not getting results. What happened? Like, so
yeah,
go to that moment when you perceive you're not getting results anymore. That the Google ads is not working.
yeah. Fear, pure fear,
So,
fear.
so
I can feel in my chest.
yeah, so go to that moment.
Okay.
Go there.
That
So
moment was in my room when I was living at my mom's, in my room. It was around. Um, I'm gonna say September, August time.
this year, or this year just gone, last year.
This year just gone. Yeah, yeah. Last year,
Yeah,
August. Yeah, August, September time. That, yeah, around that time.
yeah.
And I was in my room, and I was not seeing the quotes just stopped coming, and they slowed down. And I remember just thinking, okay, if the quotes slow down, what the hell am I going to do? Like, how am I going to get business in? But at the same time, I'm working on this van as well, and I'm putting the money that I built already. So remember, I told you before, I built up a nice cash cushion from the business, just from my business, and I was putting that into the van, and I got sidetracked. But yeah, that moment and that exact time was in at
So
home at my mom's in my room.
the moment when the failure, the fear of failing is really, it's not really fear of failing. It's you're not getting results anymore, and so it's basically things slow down. You're putting money in, and you're not getting what you expect out. You're not getting, was it
Yeah, and then
bookings,
fear,
leads,
quotes, not
quotes?
getting
Okay,
leads. Yeah, not
so
getting
you're not
leads.
getting leads. Okay, so in that moment, just to clarify, so it's not fear of failing. It's just not getting the results from Google Ads because it worked before, but then it stopped working. And so you basically have a fear of putting
Hmm.
money in and not getting what you want out, is what I'm
Yeah,
hearing. Is that it?
definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you wish and hoped would have happened in that moment? So go to that moment again. So in that, if you
Yeah.
go to that moment, get present in that moment.
Hmm.
In that moment, when you go on your computer and you open up your Google Ads account or whatever, and you see that you're not getting as many quotes, you
Hmm.
notice that you perceive, oh, I've got less quotes, or oh, I'm not getting the results. What do you wish and hope would have happened in that moment?
In myself, you mean, or outside of results wise?
What do you wish and hope happened? So you open the computer, what were you hoping or expecting in that moment? What's the fantasy is what I'm trying to figure out. Because you had an expectation which wasn't met and you got discouraged.
Okay.
And so when you get
Oh, okay. Well,
discouraged, then you back off, which you've done, and you
mm,
procrastinated, you did the van. So what in that moment would you, if you go to that moment, get present in that moment, your
yeah,
reality was less quotes. You put money in and you didn't
yeah,
get what you want out. So in that moment, get present in that moment, like go there. Are
yeah. I'm
you
there.
there?
I already know what it is.
Okay, what is it?
More quotes, more leads.
So the same
That's
amount,
what was giving me,
same
yeah,
amount of
even same amount. I
okay,
was getting like 4 or 5 a day. And if I would have
okay,
continued to get that, that's the result I wanted, was
okay,
just that continuation of leads coming in.
okay. So you're getting 4 or 5 a day, and in that moment, how many did you get? Just out of curiosity.
None.
So
And
you
that
got
was
zero
for
quotes.
that was the zero quotes, and that was the first day. So when we went to that time and place, that was the first time I got none. And then the coming days afterwards, it would continue.
Got you. Okay, so that's when you got discouraged. That's where you kind of experienced
Yeah.
things aren't working anymore, and so you got discouraged. Okay, great. So in that moment, if you had continued to get your 4 to 5 quotes, in that moment you got your 5 quotes. You open up your screen, 5 more quotes.
Mhm.
What would have been the drawbacks in that moment? The downsides to you?
Re- Responding to those quotes,
Okay.
going into my computer, having to sort out the emails, send the quotes to them, and then when they get back to me, sending out the prices, sending out everything, all of the stuff that I was trying to automate in that time anyway, that I was working on automating.
So you're
That
doing
would have been
the
the drawbacks.
you're doing the admin tasks. And so
Yeah,
what does that mean you're not doing? So because you're doing that, you can't do something else. So in that moment, you're having all these bookings coming in. That means you've got to do all the admin stuff. What's the drawbacks of that?
yeah. Building the vision of the business and actually working on the business rather than in it.
So you're not working actually on the business, you're working in it.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Didn't you say before you were working on your van?
yeah.
So what would have been the drawbacks to you if you were getting all these quotes, getting those 5 quotes still, and having to deal with all of that?
Well, I wouldn't have built the van. I wouldn't have had the focus to put on the van like I have, and I wouldn't have built it to the level that I've built it at. I wouldn't have had the time to put into that and the energy to put into it,
And the downsides of
which
that?
has been a very inspiring project.
It's an inspiring project.
The downsides, yeah, it's an inspiring project to me. It's really it's been like a part of me that van has. It's like okay, I'm start. It was kind of like a resemblance of I've started something which is broken down. It's got nothing, got no engine. I kind of looked at it as me, and I thought if I can get that van to top spec, then I can get me to top spec. It was like a symbol. Um, whew,
And what's the cost if you
ilk
didn't
of a
experience that?
jeez. Um,
How important is that to you?
whew,
Yeah, I'm getting a bit
huge,
teary on that one, bro.
very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got me. It's got me in the throat. Yeah, huge, huge because I realized at that time in that place, I'm in a space, I'm in an area where I'm trying to recreate myself, and from what I've come from to where I am now, it's inspiring that I've set this business up and I'm doing this thing, but it's also scary as well because it's like I've been at rock bottom. I've been in this position before when I was selling drugs, when I was like, yeah, I want to be the Scarface of Birmingham. I've been there where business was coming in and I'm selling, I'm doing my thing, but yeah, I'm a crash and burn, which is me isolated in a room, locked away again. So yeah, that's what the van was for me in a way. It was an opportunity to not fall down into that path and express, project myself onto that machine rather than somebody else, I guess.
It's your freedom project.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
definitely. That's
that's
my
what the
freedom
van
project.
represents
That's
to
a
you.
good way to put it.
it's freedom. That's one thing I know what's really big to you is you want freedom. And so
Yeah.
in that moment, you just, if you got all the quotes the way you wish and hoped, you're still confined into this room and you're being restricted in this space,
Hmm.
which isn't what you really truly want. You want to be free and experiencing life. And that
Yeah.
van, I think you working on that is helping you get that, because you don't move a muscle without
Definitely.
a motive, right? You obviously wanted to build a van. Like, why did you put so much heart and love and attention into the van? Like, what was the end goal you wanted to get out of this van?
To have the freedom to travel wherever I want and sleep wherever I want comfortably, and just carry on having more experiences of seeing the world, seeing England and beyond. Yeah, just the freedom to just travel and go anywhere and stay there, not have to worry about where I'm going to sleep or stay.
Didn't you put that
Yeah,
on
freedom.
your paper? You just showed me before, the £10,000, so I can.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so I can have the freedom, so I can freely travel as I please. Yeah, that was one of the things on this list. Yeah,
So
and that was
is that not the universe
written a
helping you
while ago.
achieve that?
What do you mean? Is that me not getting the quotes in that moment and in that time? The universe helping me become more free?
Well,
Is that
yeah.
what
I
you
mean,
mean?
can you see that? Because I mean, if you look at it, the drawbacks, the downsides of you, if you've got those quotes, is you are working in the business, your time's consumed on in the business, the things which don't fill you up, admin shit,
Mhm.
dealing with that admin stuff and not doing what you would love, you know,
Yeah,
which is the freedom.
definitely.
Can you see
100%.
that
I can see it now.
that link?
I can see it much more clearer, and it's making me. It's helped me understand that actually that one thing that I'm labeling as fear of failing, it's it's not necessarily just the fear of fail. It's not necessarily the fear of failing. It's the freedom. It was a freedom point to allow me to go and work on something else and not put so much stress on myself. It was just another channel because I didn't just stop doing cocktails. I didn't just stop doing bookings. I didn't get no bookings. It just slowed down. That's all it did. But it allowed me to put energy, like you said, into my freedom project. So yeah, I can definitely see that.
Hmm.
That's inspiring, man. It's crazy.
And so, what were the benefits to you of getting? So, go back to that moment where you're in your room and
Hmm.
you got zero quotes. So, the reality, what actually
Yeah.
happened was you got zero quotes, right?
Hmm.
So, what were the benefits to you of getting zero quotes in that moment? How did that? How has that served your highest value of serving and entertaining people? You know, through cocktails and things like that, your parties.
So it's made me value every party that I do much more. It's because every party that I go to, people ask me, they say, "Oh, what's the worst?" So I don't know why they ask me this, but they say, "What's the worst party you've ever been to?" Because they always assume that I'm not having a good time, or in a sense of, "Oh, you're dealing with all these people." Um, and it's made me appreciate every party thereafter for more and want to be more engrossed and connected when I do that event. So when I go there, I'm already having the anticipation, the expectation of bringing my full self even more and just soaking up the experience for the 2 hours that I'm going to be there for. So
But that
that's
where's the link
definitely
here? Where's the
one thing
link?
that it's made me do.
But where's the link?
So,
So go to that moment where you didn't get the result you
hmm,
wanted, which is not the quotes. So go there. Are
hmm, yeah,
you there? So how is
hmm.
you getting zero quotes? How is that a benefit to you? What's the link there?
In that moment,
because you just give me a random benefit which isn't related to you not getting the results. We want to see how you not getting the results you wanted in that moment. Because the reason why we're talking about this is because you had this apprehension. You're kind of hesitant of going in ads again because you see not getting result as a bad thing, which you're trying to avoid. So we want to look at, okay, in that moment, because we've cracked the fantasy, I think. When if you gotten what you wanted in that moment, the quotes, the 5 quotes, just as many drawbacks to you as benefits. I mean, well, can you see that there'll be just as many drawbacks to you if you gotten what you wanted as benefits?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because you had that teary moment. It's like it's inspired you. It got you all these things. But what we want to do is want to look at, okay, the fact that you failed in that moment, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So in that moment, so go back to the moment where you at the computer and you've opened up your Google account and you got 0 quotes that day.
Yeah.
So what is the benefit to you getting 0 quotes that day?
I get to work on the business instead of in the business.
And in
It's
form
one
of
benefit.
what? So you're working on the business
In the
how?
form of I don't have to
Van?
send out any quotes because I haven't got any quotes. So
So
therefore now I can work. Oh, you mean work on the business how, as in?
yeah, how are you working on the
I
business? So
could.
what did you do? So actually, what did you actually do then?
It gave me time to plan the vision and the brand of my business more in that moment. So I got to time to write out my elite bartender program. In that moment, in that time, I remember just saying, okay, well, I'm going to focus more on the vision of the business, and I started working on those things. My program to teach other people the same thing.
Okay. And so how has that benefited you?
It's allowed me to create a much clearer vision on what it is that I'm doing, because I used to see it as a little bit as, oh, this is just a fun and games kind of thing. It's not really anything that can be taken seriously. Whereas it's allowed me to see that actually this is a legacy. This is something that I could build out and share and inspire people all over the world.
So
It's not just a fun thing.
So what I'm hearing is it helped you to take a step back, and rather than focusing on the day-to-day minute things, it got you to take a step back and focus on the bigger picture and the opportunity you've got and where you can take it and think long term.
Definitely, yeah. It gave me the time to do that in that moment and thereafter.
Because you were too focused on the little menial stuff, getting quotes, doing the admin, which is uninspiring. So it helped you take a step back and get re-inspired again.
Yeah, definitely. Get re-inspired, see a much more broader vision on where I want to go with it. Even when I'm too old to even do any pies, what's the vision? So it helped me take a step back, look at the map, look at the bigger picture, and then plan from there, which I've written out a whole elite bartenders. I've written out all the modules, everything is there because of that time that I had to be able to take a step back and do it.
So the benefit to you of not getting those quotes in that moment was it helped you to just take a step back and re-strategize, and that caused you to get re-inspired, think longer term, and you focused on, because I mean, responding to quotes and stuff like that, not a very high priority thing you could be doing with your time, but you planning and strategizing, thinking long term, the direction you want to go in for the next X amount of years, probably with knowing you, that's probably a lot more productive. It's kind of like, the farmer
Definitely.
analogy when they're when a farmer's trying to plow the fields in a like a combine harvester or a tractor, they're just focusing on the day to day. It's really easy to just wobble and go distracted. And so it's the same thing with you. If you're spoken day to day on the quotes, you can easily go off track. But with you, you're focusing on the long term, the tree in the distance, by stepping back and seeing that. I mean, speaking to you just before, getting into this, it's like you've got that vision now. Like you've already created that really solid game plan for this year already.
Yeah, definitely. I've, like what you said, I've got that vision. I've switched from the, and when I look at it now, I say slow and passive, but it wasn't really slow and passive. It was just a vision planning period time. It was just a time to sit down and get a broader vision while still doing the work, because like I said, I've still been doing events, still been doing parties. Um, but I have much more of a framework there. That's why I can't let it go in a way. Not can't let it go. It's just I've built it up so I can see the vision so far that for me to let it go, it'll be like, well, that that's silly. That's silly to do that. You built the work, you've done the work on the ground, and you've done the vision, so you can see where it's going to go. So for me to just stop it, it's not an option.
So can you see that that vision actually came from that moment when things started slowing down in terms of your Google ads and not getting the results?
Yeah, yeah, definitely,
Can you see that link?
definitely, I can.
That's where it started.
Yeah, 100%. I can see that was the sprout of just the winter season, and in the winter is when we spend time indoors, we stay warm, and we just get to work on the mental.
Mm.
And summer's coming back. I can see now that summer's coming back around, and I've been preparing for summer to come back around now. And this is why my first action step on my list is to review my products, update them if needed, analyze and upgrade. That's a summer preparation right there.
Mm.
So yeah, I can definitely see that. I can see it more and more now, and it makes sense. Makes sense. I was just in a season.
Mm.
It had nothing to do with Google or anything like that. I was just in a season, and I needed to go through that season, which, looking back at it, it's kind of not a fluke, but it's amazing how I went through it and adapted to the season and did what I needed to do. Because it's not like I just stayed in the winter and did nothing. I did what I needed to do.
Mm. Got you. And so, what did you learn in that moment? So go to that moment when you saw you got zero. How did that
Hmm.
benefit you? What did you learn from that
What did I learn from that in that moment or up until now?
in that moment?
Oh, in that moment, I learned that you can't rely on one source of marketing. Can't rely on Google.
Okay.
You
So
have to
things changed.
go out there and yeah, something changed because it went from quotes coming in to everything stopping. So in that moment, I learned, okay, I need to work on different ways of connecting with people and offering them what I have.
Say that again.
I need to work on different ways of connecting with people and offering them what I have.
Don't you love doing that? Isn't that like one of your highest values of socializing, entertaining, connecting with people?
Yeah, that's exactly what I do, what I love to do.
So isn't that almost in a
That's
way getting you back on purpose,
yeah, yeah,
doing what you
100%.
love? Because you weren't doing what you love. Yes, you're getting more clients to do what you love, but in that moment, you're too focused on the
I was
admin, the quotes. It's not inspiring.
mm, yeah, I see that. It was trying to get me back on task for just what I love to do, which is connecting with people, expand, because I'm just seeing it linear. I'm seeing it in a way of the only way for me to connect with people and serve, entertain is at an event.
Mm.
Whereas I can go out there and go to pubs, clubs, events and do it that way. But that is marketing.
Yeah.
So what you're saying in that moment of okay, that was the message that I got in that moment, was to, okay, you need to find different ways to go and connect with people.
Yeah.
It's literally putting me right back on in within the current, but I was scared.
Yeah, like
I
I
was
mean, I
scared to
mean,
do that.
like the thing with us is we want to be independent, right? We don't want to be dependent on other people. You know, we want to be financially independent. We don't want to work in a job. But with you, it's like you were kind of in a job and your boss was Google, giving you the pay, giving you the,
Mm,
you know, you don't want that. I mean, really, you were doing that, you were going in that
yeah,
direction, but you were dependent on Google to get you the results. But we don't want to be dependent on other people. I mean, you don't. I know that you want to be independent. And so, can you
yeah,
see that in that moment you learn, I can't rely on Google. I can't rely on other people because they can change. But in that moment, it got
mm,
you to be resourceful and focus on you. And as you just said, connect with people, shine your light.
yeah. 1,000,000%. I can see it super clear. It's kind of scary. Not scary. It's just strange. I can't think of the words that I want to put together for it, but it's clear. I understand and I
Mm.
see it.
So if you kind of if you look at that moment with
Interesting.
Google taking away your traffic, not giving you the bookings, how does that look now? If you just look at that moment, how does it feel?
Oh, it looks like it was perfect, divine, and on time.
Mm.
It feels like it was meant to be. It, outside of the whole, oh, I'm trying to get to somewhere. When I look at the grand picture, it was like a spiritual whisper. If someone was controlling it, they were saying, okay, let's fuck that up so he can go and do what he needs to go and do over there, kind of thing.
Mm.
If that
So
makes sense.
yeah, so I guess can you see that in that moment when you didn't get the result you wanted, which you were hoping for, expecting in that moment, that there were just as many benefits of getting zero quotes in that moment?
Of course, yeah, definitely, because I was still getting the results and the bookings from Tipsy, and
Mm.
also it gave me the time to, like we said, work on my freedom project, work on the van, get that up to a point, and building my own personal confidence, my own confidence of creation, expression. I was trying to experience something, like not just me, but my soul was trying to experience something I was unaware of in that moment. But now I'm aware of it. So that's a yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
How do you feel
So,
about running ads again now?
I'm ready to go to go at it. I'm ready to say, all right, cool. Next step. Let's crack on and do what we need to do.
So you're ready to rock and roll again, basically, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, because before it was
Yeah,
because it was like it worked, like you knew what you're doing, and then something happened, and
mm,
great, we got to it. And so, do you feel like that's holding you back anymore? Like that moment?
no. I feel I'm ready to rock and roll with the Google Ads again, but also I'm ready to take it to the next level of understanding more about marketing and exploring different ways
Mm,
that I can market, like we said, going out and actually serving, entertaining while marketing, going to events, looking at it completely different and trying things, having fun whilst gathering all this data, seeing what other people are doing at events so I can upgrade and get to that point as
yeah,
well. So yeah, it's opened a gateway for more experiences that I'd like to have and give myself permission to do that.
yeah. Not being reliant on one single traffic source, but more so just relying on
Mm,
yourself and your own abilities, but just doing what you're really good at as well.
100%. Yeah, which is mainly being in front of people, serving them.
Well, you said that earlier, didn't you?
Um,
You said you want to go to hotels and bars and stuff and present yourself.
yeah, I've already got ideas. I've already got specific places that I'm going to, that I wish to go and gather information from my own. I've
Is
already
there
got
more of
those places
is
in
there
my
more of
mind.
a drive to do that now? Just out of interest, like to go speak, get out and speak to those hotels, those people in your mind just now?
Yeah, before I would even say before this call, there was a little bit of fear of going out and doing that work because it felt like extra work. Whereas now it feels like the next step.
Mm.
It's more like, okay, we did the first step, which was just doing basic Google ads. Now let's do the next step, which is researching and exploring and actually putting your real work to work, not your real work, your real skills to work, which is your communication skills, going out there, being in front of people, serving them, entertaining them, or even just going out in the street and doing a challenge, a cocktail challenge. I'm an entertainer. Go out there and do a little free challenge if you can make a cocktail in a mocktail or whatever the rules are when I look into it. If you can make a cocktail in a minute, boom, you get a lollipop. I don't know, something. Just yeah, I've got ideas to market differently and upgrade it from just Google Ads.
Yeah, yeah. You're you are your own best marketing weapon. Like it's
Hmm.
where you're going to shine. You're going to shine way more by being yourself and putting yourself out there because you are a very social guy. You know what I mean? And that's you get paid to do that by doing it with entertaining and serving people. So use that with your marketing, but just instead of doing cocktails, you just go out and meet people and speak to people and yeah,
Mm.
shine, as
So
you said.
that excites me already.
Yeah,
That's making me smile just thinking about it. That's like, yeah, I've kind of cracked the code there a little bit when I can just do I can do what I love to do and do what I'm doing
yeah.
in the task that I'm looking at as daunting.
Why does just doing your parties is what you love, but then why does the marketing have to be admin-y, boring-y Google adverts? Why can't you just make
Mm,
why can't you do what you love in marketing? Do what you love in sales? Make every part of your business something you love instead of just the actual parties and the cocktails. How do I
yeah.
market myself in a way which is enjoyable, where I'm shining my light and, entertaining potentially. The idea you said, making cocktails
Mm,
on the street, that's a great idea. You know, just you being you, shining your light, and that's the best marketing strategy you're gonna have. It's just being yourself, isn't it?
yeah, man. You've inspired me and you've helped me break through seeing seeing that one thing as an issue and a problem as a as a barrier. It wasn't a barrier. It wasn't even a hurdle. It was just feedback.
Mm. And it was actually just helping you take
How,
yourself to that next level.
yeah, helping me take myself to the next level, but also helping me heal, helping me helping me giving me time to go and say, oh, you know what, you've done very well with what you've been building and what you've been working on. Now go and do some self work, go do some healing, go and
Mm.
work on the van, go and have some fun, go and travel, go and prepare yourself to do more and be more.
Mm. Yeah, it's like we were talking about earlier.
Mm,
Be, do, have. It's getting you to be a better person so you can do better, so you can have what you want to have.
yeah,
It's kind of pushing that back
literally.
to the loop because you wanted to have the quotes, but it helped you actually, rather than focusing on having those quotes to get what you want, is who do I become? Becoming
Mm,
that person who's, you know, working on the van, working on the vision, what you want, becoming that
yeah,
person.
I'm working on myself because
Mm,
as I work on the van, I'm working on myself. That the van, like we said earlier on, we touched on it. It's a very it's a project that resembles myself, and in a such a if I can do that, I can do anything. And the next thing after that is not just anything. If I can do that and build that up, I can build up. I can take my business to wherever I want it to go to. I can take me. My business is me. I can take me to wherever I want to go to, the highest of heights, doing the biggest of events, serving the anyone and everyone around the world, people who
Yeah.
appreciate it the most.
Yeah. If you can set your mind to completely tearing out a van and rebuilding it and then making it like your home, you know what I mean? And helping you, because it's serving your business, it's part of the vision there. But if you can do that, if you can set your mind to that, you can achieve anything. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Great work, bro.
100%.
Smashed it. How do you feel?
Thank light.
Light. Good.
I feel very very light, light in my mind, light in my body. Like I just feel just much more clear, much more on it. Um, in a weird way because it's an instant shift, isn't it? So normally you kind of work your way up to, like, you get up in the morning and maybe you don't want to go to the gym and work out, but then as soon as you start getting ready and you get to the gym, now you're psyched up. It's taking you time to get there, whereas we've done it here on the spot, just sitting here. But instantly, I feel light. I feel like I've got that drive back. I think of the van now, and I've been in the van recently, and I've been kind of like, oh, I need to get this and that fixed. I've lost my view, and I've lost sight of why I'm doing it. Whereas in this call right here, right now, I've just regained it. It's yeah, it's yeah, it's inspiring, man. Very inspiring. I've taken the pill that he takes on Limitless, and when things just start to brighten up again, he went from
Yeah.
kind of dull to it's a little taste of that. And I don't want to gas it up too much, but I just want to give a clear explanation of how I'm feeling about
Yeah, I love that.
it.
Well, it means that you've gotten a breakthrough, or at least, yeah, because it's just like when you're saying you're getting 30 bookings from it. It's just like, why the fuck are you not still doing that? Like, what happened? And so
Yeah.
that was the block, and removing that, it's going to be inspiring to see what you do from here, whether that's Google ads again, or whether that's just you just shining your light in a new marketing way. It's going to be inspiring seeing that. But yeah, really good work there, bro. Awesome stuff.
Wicked, man. Well, thank you for the insight, bro. I'll be
Yeah.
documenting that in my journal.